Hey, we are Noble Notary, and we are here to talk about taxes. Now, that may seem a little bit crazy for some people, or a little bit too much of an endeavor. By the way, Mark has a squirrel on his shoulder, and tell him what we did there.
We rescued a squirrel. We saved it from being hawk bait. We'll see what happens with that. But yes, notaries can make a ton of extra money doing tax preparation. We want to dispel some of the myths and show you how lucrative and easy it can be to get started in.
Levels of being a tax preparation specialist, and today we're just going to talk about the very basic entry level. By the way, Mark had to change his shirt because the squirrel peed on it.
Squirrel peed. So yeah, you can just at the very entry level, which is a PTIN, which I'm going to show you how to get and how easy that is. You can make $20,000 to $50,000 within a couple of months doing tax preparation services. Think about this for a second. During tax season, you go into Walmart and there's an H&R Block little booth sitting there. Why? Because they can be done in minutes. So as a notary, we're conditioned to think that doing loan signings will result in 75 to 150, 200 in a half hour to an hour. We're talking $200 in 15 minutes. Data entry. This is not rocket science. It's mostly data entry. I'm going to show you. I'm going to direct you into the ideal business model. You can do PTIN. Yes, you could work your way up to being an enrolled agent. I know enrolled agents that have a very, very comfortable living. They have no college education. They take about a 2-week course to be an EA. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm just going to talk about the very simple entry level, very easy to start and to get started. Complements your notary business very well.
And this usually scares people. Like I said, it can be daunting because they think they have to be an accountant or they had to get straight A's in algebra and math, and that's just not the case. So Mark's going to do a really simple breakdown for you that you can add this to your services, guys. It's all about having multiple streams of income so that when the loans are slow,
you can
like
level up
now,
your notary business.
We're leveling up, baby. That's what we're doing. We're going to help you do that.
A PTIN tax preparer. The first thing you'd want to do is go to irs.gov/tax professionals. And literally you could just Google PTIN IRS. Now this requires no initial training. You just create an account and you pay the $30 fee. And then you have a PTIN for a whole year, which is your tax preparer's ID. So, and then this allows you to prepare taxes. So what you would do then next is you'd want to get with a service that has the software. Now, the one I use, and again, there are a bunch of these out there, but I use Prestige Tax Office. That's the one that I've been using for a couple of years now. But there are plenty of them out there. They kind of all work the same. The software is very similar. But what you would do here, these are their partnership packages, and they kind of tell you why you would want which one you would want. For example, the red one would be kind of like for a newbie, a beginner who's just doing the tax season for $3.99. And then that gets you started up. They split the revenue with you. Now, I didn't pay this year. They gave it to me for free. So I only paid it that first year in, and then they just let me in from there with no more fees. So that looks like that's just to start. Now, they share the revenue with you. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Obviously, the low startup cost, no experience needed, just like they said. And I'll show you in the back office where they literally provide you all the training, which this stuff is pretty easy anyway. But so 80-20 revenue split. Now, that is they are only charging a revenue split if you are getting paid off the tax return. So if your client wants you to do their taxes and you charge them, say, $200, which is pretty much a going rate, and these take, if it's just an individual with a W-2, it's going to take you like 15 minutes. If it's the whole family, like a 1040 on a household, but they're W-2s, it's going to take you a little bit longer. It might take you the first couple times, 30 minutes or so. Same thing, you can $200. They're going to if you want them to pay you out of the tax return, in other words, they're going to get a tax refund, and you want to get paid by the bank that's going to initiate the direct deposit, they're going to do an 80-20 split. So you're going to owe them $40. Now, if you are doing the return and you're just charging them a fee up front and not taking it out of the taxes, you only have to pay this company $25 no matter what you charge them. So that is pretty neat. That is really only for the refund side of it. And they give you, obviously, this platform, they give you a lot of other resources. For example, if you wanted to do, you can offer cash advance on the refund. Like they'll set you up with debit cards that you can program for them. You can refund, I believe, up to $5,000 or $6,000, and they even send you checks that you can print. You can print and issue a check for people on the spot. So now I know it's right now it's February 20th, so the early starters are already in and going, and that's your target market for doing the making some fast cash is doing the just the W-2 returns, people who are looking to get like their earned income credit refund back. Those ones, they're early filers. So they are filing, they would have started this year filing January 23rd. But the tax season's still usually pretty much open for doing returns all the way through the middle of April. So there's actually still time to get in and do one if you want. But this is, you could obviously set yourself up for next year, something to seriously consider adding. You just get your PTIN, again, through the IRS. And then I'll show you, this is the back office for the one that I use. And if I logged in, you'll see that it wants me to change my password. Okay, so here's the back office for doing this. And basically, you've got, here's your main menu, and you would just enter in your new client's information, start a new return, you'd hit select. You're going to put in their information, and it's going to go through the process, and it's going to tell you if there's anything wrong. They provide all the instructions. Here's their software handbook. They've got training videos. They've got intake forms. So you can give your clients one of these intake forms and basically have them fill out the information. And I printed these and I got them in a file folder, but or you could email it to your client and have them fill out this stuff, telling them what you need. And then you're basically data entering this stuff and then showing them what their return's going to be. And they actually check this stuff when you go to send it in. They do have on the back end, they have like CPAs that would check it and then kind of give you the green light, and then you would set and e-file it, and then that's it, and get paid. It's a pretty simple process to be a tax preparer. So I highly consider looking into something like this. It's not as hard as you think, and obviously, as we mentioned in the beginning, there are next levels of tax preparation. Like you could look at being an enrolled agent, or which is all scope of tax. I mean, you actually can represent people in a tax court at that level. But just starting out, $30, and then partnering with a company like this, and then listing those same services with your Google listing, and basically marketing the same way you'd market your notary business. You'll be able to pick up a lot of clients to do taxes for, and go out and make a lot of extra money in a short period of time. So that's it for today. Adding tax services to your notary service. It's a great idea. It's a great opportunity. It's not as crazy or as hard as it thinks. Okay. All right. Take care, guys.